All right, there we go. That was a really long intro for some reason. I felt longer than 2 minutes. So, how's everyone?
Sorry for the noise.
Yeah, mute yourself, please. All right, ladies, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Joe. How are you doing?
Awesome. Now, I thought we would just get together, chill, have some fun. If anybody has any questions, throw them in there. As long as I'm paying attention, we'll get to them. So, anyhow, yeah, we're here. We're just chilling. I'm horrible at intros. So, anyhow. All right, so let's see. Of course, Matt. We got Matt. Just wave hi, Matt. Yep. We got Christy from Soul Sisters Paranormal. I've actually met you once, briefly.
Yes.
I believe, right? And then, of course, we got my paranormal crush, Miranda Young, Ghost Biker.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I just now noticed Selena's photo.
Okay. Oh, geez.
Why?
Okay, Matt, settle down.
No. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, I've investigated with Miranda just once, right? I met you at Hales briefly, and then the event, which was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been at several different events together, but only actually been able to investigate together once.
Right.
Hopefully, we can make that more in the coming year. I know we've tried.
Yeah. Hopefully, and have Kris with us as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would be
a lot of fun.
I think I know of a place that's really close to everyone. Won't be too bad of a drive. It's 45 minutes from me, so it's right on the Tennessee-Virginia border. Actually, the Nickerson-Sneed house.
I was going to ask if it was Nickerson-Sneed. I've heard actually quite a few different people talking about that. A couple friends from a couple other teams have gone. You ended up going this year too, didn't you?
Yeah, Bill, Eric, and I, and Katie, Bill's wife, we all went there. It was interesting. I mean, there's a lot of. It looks like a big place, but it's really not. It's a lot of rooms. But it's got some history, some very, that place is just painted with blood all over. I mean, just the history is pretty bad. So, Bill got to see a full body apparition, and that was hilarious. His reaction to it. He said he had seen it, and he was still kind of like taken back by it. And he's like, that made my nipples hard. we lost it. So,
hilarious.
Oh, it was funny. So, anyhow, let me look at chat here real quick. See if there's any questions. Again, hi everyone. I'm not going to do shout outs right now. I'll do that in a little bit. So,
hi Frank. Hi, it's getting.
Damn, dude, that thing is loud, man. Turn that down.
No, it's loud.
Turn that down. All right. So, anyhow, God, man, that blew out my eardrums. So, all right. So, what is everybody up to? What's going on? Kris, you're away from home. What's going on?
I am away from home right now. I just had a really cool layover in Tennessee to see Miranda there for a couple days, and I'm in Virginia right now. I'm dog sitting for a week for my younger sister, so doing that and just kind of getting ready for the holidays.
Yeah. How about you, Miranda?
Just pretty much sitting here trying to work on a few things for some upcoming videos. Been working on that today, and working on some artwork, and hopefully to have some new pieces out by Christmas and the start of the year, and trying to get a couple investigations lined up to kind of do over the colder months. Just trying to get a little bit of that together, kind of get in the mood for the new season.
Right.
Get a jump
No,
start.
Right. Yeah. That's. Well, we're gonna have to see what happens next year. I got a feeling. I'm not gonna say because of what, we can't say that word, but I got a feeling we may be in for a lockdown. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But so for both of you, what difference, if there's a difference, just opinions, does the weather make on investigations? Do you think investigating during cold weather brings more activity or less, or summer more or less?
I
For
know.
me personally, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
For us personally, it runs the gamut. One of the best investigations that we've done with the most activity was in the middle of July in Florida. But then, we investigated the West Virginia State Penitentiary in Trans-Allegheny in February, where it was probably one of the coldest investigations that we've done, and we captured some amazing activity there as well. So I think it really just depends on the location for us.
Yeah, I mean, typically for me, I usually don't have very good luck when it's hot weather, but I think I know the investigation that Christy is talking about. I went down to Florida last year in the middle of July. I was down there for a week, did 5 different investigations, and had a lot of activity at those. But other times, at least here in Tennessee and more northern areas, I've not had as good a luck whenever it's hot weather, but tend to have a little bit more whenever it's cold, a little more when it's stormy, actually.
Right. I know one location, Hales. During the summer, you get a different type of activity, but it's still active. And then winter, it does this change. You get like different activity.
You really do. Yeah. For me at Hales, I know that Christy's investigated at Hales too. I've investigated it, I think 6 or 7 times. And I know that I've done some in the middle of the summer. The problem I had in the middle of the summer there, and the very, very last time I investigated, I believe it was in July, and there was a lot of noise contamination in kind of the upper area from some of the restaurants and stuff around. And so I actually didn't feel that I really got anything that I could put out as evidence that last time, just for that specific reason. I mean, I had a couple interesting things happen, but I was afraid just because of all the outside sounds I was getting. But the other times I investigated, one time in particular, I think it was like 28 degrees. And it was very cold, very uncomfortable, but just nonstop activity. If you could standing in there, then, I mean, you were greeted with a lot of activity at that location.
Right. Yeah, Hales is a challenge.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Waverly Hills, I don't know if anyone's been there. I have twice, no luck, but it's loud.
It's very loud. I've investigated it on one other occasion, and honestly, to me, it's one. I mean, I liked going just because it was such an interesting location, and I got probably 3 or 4 interesting things happen, especially in the body chute, because it was quieter down there. But for me, I sort of did it to do it, but sort of felt like it was a little bit overrated personally. In my opinion, but I think it's definitely somewhere people should go.
Right. No, and I agree. I've actually, and I will never do this again. I've actually walked all the way down the body chute, all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing special going on down there.
Not really.
And then coming back up, no. I'm like, I will never do that again. You're like, oh, it's just 300 feet. Yeah, go ahead, just 300 feet. Oh.
We did a couple.
You're young. You're a young buck.
We did a couple really interesting experiments there in the body chute where we had. I was there with 2 different teams, and the team I was with and another team. And we positioned people. I was at the very end of the body chute, and we positioned people at different points to see if we got something, to see if we could kind of triangulate where it was coming from in the chute. And that was kind of interesting. We did get a child's voice down there, and it was sort of toward the middle. So I know the end, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's kind of open at the end of the shoot. And so we knew it wasn't coming from the outside. It was coming toward the middle, which was kind of interesting.
Right. What location was it? Something similar like that happened to me at a similar location. I was with some other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like things were just happening in between us.
Yeah.
It was interesting. We didn't get any. I mean, we could hear stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I had some there, and I had some in the morgue. I did we had a really good EVP session in there, dowsing rod session. I did a blindfolded dowsing rod session in there, and had pictures printed out of different people that, we thought we might be talking to. And so I had someone else on the team put those throughout the room and blindfold me. And that was the first place I did that. And that was a really interesting session because, sometimes the rods work for me and sometimes they don't. And that time they were hitting spot on the pictures, which was kind of cool.
Right. I had it escaped my brain. I'm over here looking at the chat, seeing if there was any questions. So how did you two ladies end up getting together and investigating?
Hey, Christy.
Well, I actually, I was following Ghost Biker for her first season. So I actually ended up just emailing her in 2019, and we just carried on an email correspondence for a couple of months. And actually the first time we ever met was our first investigation, our collaboration investigation at Henry River Mill Village. So that was a really fantastic experience. So, our friendship just really grew out of that. And we've done several investigations since then together, and just have, really a great time. I love Miranda's investigation style and the historical research that she puts behind it. So for us, it's just a natural fit to do some of these investigations together.
I mean, when I'd been following her before I knew she had been watching my season, and so I thought it was really cool when she reached out to me, and I really like their style and their approach. And so to be able to investigate Henry River Mill, it was really cool for that to be our first meeting, to, come up and it's like, hey, not even really having much of an opportunity to really chat, but to go into this investigation and to investigate this whole village, just the two of us, was very cool. And so I think before the weekend was even over, we were already talking about other locations that maybe we could meet up and collaborate on. And so I think we've got some pretty interesting evidence and experience when we're able to go together. I've gone to several locations with just Christy, and then also some with her entire team. So they're a blast to investigate with.
Yeah, it definitely seems like you two just mesh really well. Yeah. So, and that can be hard to find.
Yeah, we really did. Yeah. It really can. For us, it's just like I said before. We really appreciate Miranda's investigation style, and the quality of videos that she puts out, as well as the detail to the historical research and the historical narrative. So for us, it just felt like a natural fit. Like she's part of Soul Sisters, and it really is a very cool friendship.
Yeah, and she stepped in this season and helped me film on a couple episodes, because in the past, either I would film by myself or have Josh with me, and Josh was not able to help out this season. So Kris stepped in on a couple investigations, and like I said, I think we got some pretty cool experiences from it.
Yeah, if you ever need help filming, just let me know.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. I know you stepped in and helped me at my first event, or actually both of those two events. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I totally forgot the Alabama trip.
Yeah.
That was, I can't believe I forgot that. Luckily you weren't at the one the following year.
Oh, really? Yeah, we were going to, and then we ended up having Henry River Mill that same weekend, I believe. And so I didn't know. I know it was down in South Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Orange Beach.
Yeah, Orange Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I went and I did my speaking part, and I actually more people seen me than anybody else, which was bizarre.
Wow.
Because, and I'll tell you why. Nobody cared. There was probably more of vendors and speakers than there were actual people just coming.
Oh, really?
In. Yeah. That was not promoted well.
Well, that's what I wondered. I know he did a very good job promoting the first one. Of course, that was in his area. And so I know he did a real good job. And I connected with several podcasters from that event.
I remember that.
mean, I think it was, I think the whole thing was kind of sold out. And it was a big event. But I honestly did not hear anything about the second event.
Now, bad area.
Yeah,
and the table prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went, and I kind of wish I didn't. I wouldn't have got hit by a semi truck.
That's right. You had an accident on the way down. Yeah.
I have no idea how it wasn't worse.
Wow.
So that was
could have been a sign.
I should have listened. I think I should have just turned around and went home. I was going to actually after I got hit. I mean, my car still ran and everything, but I mean, it's still messed up.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna turn around and go home. And I'm like, I went.
Yeah. Well, and it's tough. Events are really tough because I mean, there's such a back and forth of promotion is so important from not only the vendor but the people who are going to be there and just finding that right mix as far as prices to get in and the perceived value for the money the people setting up and then also people coming in. So events are a real challenge sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I try not to do events. I don't know. It's an anxiety thing, I think. You know, so I only do a couple. I don't know. Anxiety.
Yeah.
So, oh Lord, where did Matt go? Why does Matt keep disappearing?
We ran you off.
Pete wants to know about my guitars. So behind me is an ESP. I have a Ernie Ball Music Man. It's more of the John Petrucci signature type, except not specifically that, more of the lower end. And then I got a Jackson 8-string.
Saw you playing that online not too long ago.
Yeah, I was just doodling around because I think there's a video where I just got the one in the middle. And I was just doodling around. I was like, I'm not going to put this up there. Then I did anyways. Now I'm like, I wish I didn't put that up there. So.
I mean, those are tough. I mean, it sounded good, but
yeah. I just doodle around. It's funny because most people just see me doodle around, but they haven't actually hear me play. So I don't know. People are like, oh, make more videos playing and stuff like that, and it's like anxiety. Anxiety. So
you thought about doing some of your own music for some of your documentaries and stuff?
Well, speaking of documentaries, Matt, get your ass back in here. I wanted to do a little bit for the Harrisville Haunting documentary, but Matt, he's just gonna he bought hundreds of dollars worth of music or something, and he's just gonna use that. The next one, I
That'll be
will.
cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And then also with my YouTube videos as well. I have been putting my own music into my own videos.
Mhm.
But because of time and everything that's going on, I haven't had time to really like sit down and do even more.
Yeah.
So, but I love.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do all that. The videography, the editing, the writing, scoring the music for it. I mean, all that. It's a lot of work just going through evidence, but putting something awesome together like that. That's, kudos to you for that.
Right, and I mean, really, all I'm looking to do is just that background atmospheric sound. Nothing crazy, but at the same time, it sounds easy until you look at something that you put together film wise, and you're like, okay, what do I want to do? What is that mood? Of course, the mood's got to be creepy. Oh, yeah. Phone. So I'll check that in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I love music. I love filming, and a lot of people think my first love or whatever would be paranormal, but it's really not. It's music. I've been around music since I was a little guy. Listening to albums, the spinny thing, kids. Grew up listening to like Led Zeppelin, Rush, Pink Floyd, Frank Zappa, just all kinds of bands, and I don't know, just resonated with me. So.
Well, I know, because that's like something that I noticed, like with Christy's stuff, because she's got a custom. Their theme song was custom for them, and there's just something about that, to have that. As soon as you hear those first couple notes, it's Soul Sisters, it's their stuff, and so that's something that I want to do in the coming year as well for some of my stuff, is have some custom stuff, because I use a lot of stuff online that, from Creative Commons or whatever. But I think that's, like I said, I think that's just really cool.
So you had your music custom made, right? Who did yours?
Yes, I did. It was a friend of the family's. His name is Jonathan Jordan. He's in New Jersey. I think it's J. Lee Jordan Productions. So I love our theme music. So it really resonates with what I wanted. I wanted something a little mysterious, but yet upbeat and feminine at the same time. So right. I think he really nailed it. So I'm thank you. Yeah, thanks, Miranda, for saying that. But I really do think our theme music fits what we do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny to even make this comparison. Like, I used to wrestle, and wrestlers are really picky about their music. Like, because when their music hits, people know. They already know. Yeah. And it's kind of like that with a lot of people in the paranormal. Like, you could just be somewhere and you start hearing music. You're like, wait a minute, are you watching, so-and-so stuff?
Yep.
It's part of your identity as.
It really is.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really weird. My problem is that I don't have like a main, and I really need to do something about it. I don't have like a main theme music or anything like that. I really need to do something about that. I don't even know why didn't I even think about that? I don't know. So
yeah, because you're right. It does establish an identity, and like I said, for us, it's one of those things that we really wanted right off the bat. Kind of like our name and our logo. We had our logo.
Branding.
It is. It's part of your identity. So I think Joe, I think you could write an amazing theme song for yourself.
Maybe I'm really hard on myself.
it's hard to do stuff for yourself, but because I know being a designer and an artist, I can do whatever for anyone else. But when it comes to mine, I'm like, wow, I know what I want, but I want to go off in like 15 different directions. And so I can definitely understand that. I think you could definitely do something really cool. Kind of that mix, of just that a real dramatic, creepy, but also a little heavy, but not, too heavy. I think you could definitely come up with something pretty cool. And it's just getting started in that direction, because like I said, I will go in 15 different directions, and I need someone else to bounce it off of.
Right. No, I mean, my big issue is I go 15 different directions on purpose because I like progressive music. I like music that's constantly changing. I don't listen to what's on the radio. Well, I mean, some of it, I do, of course. You got like the band Tool. They're progressive, rock. That's why the freaking songs are so long. But it's always changing. One of my favorite bands, Dream Theater, they're progressive metal. And you listen to their song and it's like, this is like 4 songs in one song. Yeah. But it all makes sense. It all works together. And that's my problem, is I sit down to write something like, all right, I can't go, no more than, we'll just say a minute. And then here I am, like 12 minutes into something. Like, what happened? This was supposed to be really short.
Well, and see, that fits too with the paranormal, if you think about it, because, I mean, how often do we go into a different location and then we start going in all these different directions just because the location is leading us that way, So doing something progressive would really fit, I think.
Right.
And be something kind of changing. It would fit sort of the mood of what we do.
Right. No, even if it's not for me, if it's for somebody else, I'm hard on myself about that. It's terrible. I was like, do I seriously hate myself that much? Everything I do, I'm like, that's not good enough.
Gotta get out of your head, Joe.
I know. Exactly. I know. God, it drives me nuts. I drive myself nuts. It's like, damn, how can anybody freaking tolerate living with me? So, let me look in here real quick. If there's anything you ladies want to talk about, go for it. Just gonna hang out for however long. I was gonna have David Chillers on here, but he said he was gonna try to come on. I don't know if you ladies know who he is.
Yeah, he's I know he's working with Spooky Babes now on some stuff, and I know he was I've not personally met him, but I'm good friends with Doyle and Donald, or the late Doyle and Donald Martin from down in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. And so I know that he had done some stuff with them, and that's where I first saw his name and started following his stuff. I enjoy watching, I think he does haunted hospitals, or used to do haunted hospitals or something like that.
Yeah, he was on haunted hospitals. Him and some other people were the ones who actually found a dead body.
Oh, really? That was him? Wow.
Yep. That. I can't even imagine. But I've known him. I've known him for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Every time I even come close to like his area, for some reason we just never like got together and did anything. But that's going to change in June. So
very cool.
He's going to actually be up this way, and he's going to be investigating a place, him and some other people. But I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one. So, but he's been on Ghost Adventures and a couple of other shows. So, I was hoping he'd hop on in. He's a lot of fun. He's a nut, that's for sure. So,
I know he's all over the place. I've seen him doing a lot of different things lately.
Yeah, he's probably the past, year and a half, 2 years, he's been all over the place. So,
Yeah.
let's see. Go through chat here. I got to check my messages here in just a few minutes as well. So now I've asked this question before, so I know the answer from one of you ladies. As a female on the paranormal, okay, do you feel like maybe you have an advantage? You have an advantage, a disadvantage, or equal playing field?
Go for it, Trish.
Honestly, for us, I think we have an equal playing field. I mean, it's just really how much you want to promote yourself and how much you want to market what you do. I don't think there's, for us anyway, I haven't felt any limitations on anything that we've produced or put out there, honestly. I think it's just the same as the male team. You just find good evidence and put it out there. And if those who want to watch will watch, and those who don't. For us, it's never been about trying to convince anybody or trying to persuade anybody. We're just putting out what, the historical narratives that we found at these locations, and also the paranormal evidence that we found that to us is extremely compelling. And I think for us, if you just be yourself and market it and produce it for you and what you feel is important, then the audience will come.
Yeah, I totally agree there because, pretty much all the different stuff I do tend to be more male dominated hobbies, I guess, with, motorcycling and guns and that sort of thing. But I have been equally accepted. I don't really feel as though I've come up against any barriers or any roadblocks. Everyone's been fantastic. Sometimes I think sometimes the spirits may interact a little bit different, whether you're a male or female investigator, kind of like the way, the normal person does. They all kind of have their preferences and what they connect with. But as far as the actual paranormal field, for me, I'm just documenting my travels and my adventures and putting them out there. And I hope that, people will enjoy them enough to watch and share. But no, I kind of feel like it's equal playing field. You promote and put out what you want, and the rest is just people can, I guess, take it or leave it. But yeah, it's been pretty equal.
Right. I think a lot of times too, and this is just with investigating only. I think ladies definitely have the advantage when it comes to actually investigating and having interactions.
I can agree with that for sure.
I think for us, we have found that being an all-female team.
Did we lose you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering because you just completely stopped there. So I don't know if we lost her or not.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, go ahead, Miranda. Whatever you're going to say.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. You were talking, and it just stopped.
Oh, okay.
wait.
Yeah, sorry. For like I said, for us being an all-female team, I think we've been very fortunate in capturing some different things, probably more so than male-dominated teams would.
Right. No. I notice when I investigate with another female, it's more active than the female leaves, and then I get somebody else in. And it's like, dude, what did you do, man?
Yeah, we've even done some different experiments where we've had, mixed genders around, that mixed gender teams. And I was a member of a mixed gender team before. One time I was the only female on the team. And we would definitely get different types of activity when I was around versus, if it was just a male. It wasn't always more activity. It was just always, it just seemed kind of different. And, like I said, we've done some different experiments where we've kind of tried to do similar experiments in the same area with female, all female team, mixed gender team, all male team. And it's been really interesting, some of the activity that's come out of that. And it does seem to sort of favor, it does, as far as pure activity goes, it does seem to favor the female a little bit more from what we found.
Right. The Monroe House. Have either one of you ladies been to the Monroe House?
Not yet. It's a bucket list. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go.
I'm game.
And I have somebody else who's going to go.
Sounds great.
I'll be the only guy there, but I'll live. I'll make it. Because the Monroe House, I don't know what it is about it. It does not like ladies. It really doesn't. No. So
it doesn't like them in an aggressive sense, or in the sense of just doesn't want to talk to them?
Aggressive.
Okay.
Aggressive. So we'll definitely go. I'll talk to the owners. I'm good. I'm friends with the owners. Mm-hmm. So
cool. That'll be a lot of fun.
We'll do that. Yeah. It's a big place, but not big. Mm-hmm. Again, it's chopped up. Some challenges are, it's in a neighborhood. The neighborhood's kind of noisy. Sound. If you're top floor and somebody's in the basement, you're gonna hear one another.
Oh, wow.
But it's a cool place, and every time I go there, it's all like, oh Lord, always something. Like a week before I go, it's like, oh, here we go. Just always something stupid. And then even after that. But right across from there is the jail that's haunted. What is it called? The Hartford City Jail. I can't remember what it's called. That's haunted too. That's a cool place. I could probably talk to Dan and see about doing that one. The jail's really cool, but on the flip side, the guy who owns it, he has cats.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
The cats have reign of the jail. Yeah. I know Christy kind of had some interaction with at the last place you all went, there was stray cats?
Yeah, the Hamilton County Jail in Jasper, Florida. Yeah, stray cats. A lot of mess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if these aren't strays, but
that's even worse.
It's pretty.
It is. The basement of that jail is really cool. It's like you step back into time, like it's some like medieval place. They have shackles up on the ceilings that are just hanging down. They have like these. I can't really say tunnels, but really just a really narrow like halls, just old brick. It's creepy. And you can see places where, of course, people were shackled. It's depressing.
Wow. What was the year on that one? I mean, was it, did it close pretty recent or?
It's been closed for a really long time.
Okay.
A really long time. It's just weird. It's just stepping back into time. Once you go into the basement and then you get to a certain area of the basement, it's like, whoa, we actually we did this. Like, well, not us personally, but this kind of thing happened. But to actually see the shackles and see where people just up, shackled up against a wall or just hanging by their wrist. Yeah.
Huh. So were they in separate cells or were they just up on the wall within the shackles?
So there is a separate, so they do have normal jail cells. It's not very big. That's on the main floor. Mm-hmm. The basement, just so different.
Wow.
so diff. I couldn't even imagine. I'm like, man, I know a lot of these guys, they were criminals. You know, I'm not like a bleeding heart for, you know, hardcore criminals, but
Yeah.
man, it's just like, whew, that's. I'm glad I wasn't around or a criminal at that time when they were doing it. That's for sure. So, then they got the speakeasy. Oh, Matt's back. They have the speakeasy, which is like all these haunted locations are like literally just huddled, almost on top of one another. So I mean, there's quite a few haunted locations over there.
Hello
So do
there.
you think?
Well, it's about time, Matt, but you know, things are coming through your TV. Real quick, Frank and John, thank you very much for the donations. Greatly appreciate that. Matt, that's loud.
So do you think that sometimes those locations are, when they're close like that, that sometimes the activity from the others kind of bleed over? You know, do you think it's sort of a connected thing, or because you know, I kind of found that when I did the Belair house up there in Belair, Ohio, there West Virginia, on the line, and you know, the whole town was just a very interesting area, and it was kind of almost a very depressed town, you know, and so the house, it's located right there beside of you know, it's kind of like Section 8 type housing, and then the other houses around it, except for just a few, are abandoned. And supposedly the one, I mean, you just got this intense, crazy energy feeling from the house next door. I think they were having like a child porn issue or something like. I mean, there was some pretty intense, crazy issues going on next door. So I kind of wondered if, you know, it's sort of like an infestation type thing where it may kind of bleed over, if the depression might feed that. Do you think that some of that stuff may be related?
I don't think there's any bleed over. The Monroe house, it's like its own beast. It just seems like whatever's there stays on in the house, stays on the property.
Yeah.
Nothing from the jail seems to like bleed over. It's almost like, okay, so this is going to sound kind of dumb, I guess, but it's almost like the Monroe house is the big bad bully on the block, and nothing dares to just cross over into that place. But there's been quite a few places that have been popping up in Hartford City that are haunted. So Matt, he's been to the Monroe house quite a few times as well. Matt, do you think there's anything bleeding over the jail to the Monroe house or vice versa?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's has hauntings.
Right. But
That's all you can really say.
Well, I mean, I just say that because, I mean, it just seems there's certain areas that just, you know, certain towns or certain areas that just have those little pockets that have multiple locations with activity in them, that it's just kind of interesting.
Pockets of. I heard about some history though about the Monroe house and the jail. Apparently, one person kind of connected to both places, and so I think it was the sheriff or something like that. Can't remember.
yeah,
And so that's the only thing that's could be associated probably a little bit.
right. I believe I heard that. Man, that TV's so loud, dude. It's throwing me off. I was told that they actually kept some prisoners at the Monroe house in the basement. I don't know if that's true or not. And I also believe that there was a doctor or maybe a doctor's office or something like that at the Monroe house. I'm not 100% sure on that either. But there's always these rumors, you know, about all these locations. And sometimes it's hard to find the truth with a lot of the places. Now, Virginia City, I think all of that is just connected to one another. But Matt would know best because he's been there. He's investigated that. So
Yeah,
what
Virginia City is
about
the most active locations I've ever investigated in my life. There's no
Wow.
place that has topped Virginia City, and I'm still like, it's crazy. Like, I want to go back so bad. It has its own feel, that place.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go there as well. What else is on the bucket list for you ladies?
Go
Well,
ahead.
as far as the bucket list, there's several places. The Queen Mary, we want to get out to the Queen Mary. We'll have the opportunity, I think, next summer to maybe go over to England. So that's definitely on a bucket list, England and Ireland.
I'm
so
jealous.
Take some things international. But we've got some very cool investigations already lined up for next year. We'll be at the May Stringer House in January, and then we're heading out to Texas. We're going to stop at the Myrtles Plantation along the way. And then we'll be at the Nazareth Hospital in February for 2 or 3 nights. So looking forward to that. So got a lot of interesting things lined up for next year.
Yeah, same here. A couple of the places that I'm investigating are not as well known. So if I said, they may not know really quite where those are. But for me, I would like to maybe head down the Mississippi Blues Trail and just hit some of the different locations down through there, or some of the locations off of Route 66. Some of them that I can take the bike to and tell some of the history and some of the stories and hit some of those locations. It's kind of what I want to do.
Anyone planning on going to the Conjuring House?
I'd like to.
I'd love to.
Yeah. What was your all's experience like there? I know we got to wait for the documentary and to see, but I mean, was it as active as?
Yeah, it was pretty active. I've been to other places I've been more active, but yeah, it's still active though.
It was interesting. I mean, it's been on my bucket list, and I never thought I'd be able to investigate it. Like,
Yeah.
Even though it was on my bucket list, I was like, that's never going to happen. And then Corey and Jennifer, they bought the place and opened it up, and I was like, holy crap. And I had no idea it was even open up. Joe McCarty, he's like, oh, I went to the Conjuring House and I investigated. I'm thinking to myself, is he got the right house? And he did. I'm like, well, holy crap. Who do I talk to? But it was cool because just the history. I mean, you had Carl and Keith Johnson. They were the first to go in there to actually investigate. And then they called in the Warrens. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get too much into that, but it was just weird being in the same house where Ed and Lorraine Warren once were.
Yeah.
And Keith and Carl Johnson. I've always wanted to meet Keith and Carl Johnson. I mean, those were 2 guys that I really wanted to meet and talk to. And I had that opportunity, and they were cool. So down to earth. We even hung out for a little while afterwards after we did the interviews, and we just kind of talked and stuff like that. And thank God we did, because we actually did capture some evidence.
Crow of Judas is in here.
Yeah, I see that.
Crow of Judas, you should come on. Here I go, inviting people to Joe's stream again.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Matt. You should definitely go. And as for like the documentary guys, it will be done in January.
I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it will be done in January.
So did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you record your interviews with them, and is that going to get to? Oh, great! That'll be very cool.
So we did our interviews with the Johnson brothers, Corey, Jennifer. She didn't want to be on camera. She didn't want to be interviewed, and John Huntington. So I can't forget. What was her name? The wife. I can't remember her name. I forgot her name. One of the Johnsons' wife. She was also a part of that. We January what year? Dory.
2021. Here, actually, the gain levels on this side. How Let me know when it's bearable for the TV.
I just turned it all the way down. Oh, that's good right there.
Yeah.
That's good. I can hear you.
You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
Yay.
There we go. I figured it out. This mic got this mic out.
So how was the movie in comparison to what you experienced? Did they go way Hollywood on it, or was
Way
it
Hollywood.
Way Hollywood.
Yeah.
Also, they did not figure out the haunting, and it was all gone at the end. actually, Ed Warren got punched in the face and had to get kicked out. So,
I had heard different stories. So, I mean, everybody's got different opinions, on all of that. But I was just curious how much they Hollywooded it up.
And that's not and I don't want to crap all over Ed and Lorraine Warren, but it's not the first place they've been tossed out of.
Yeah.
There's been others, I'm just I'm kind of like in the middle on the Warrens. On one hand, they did do some good things, putting the paranormal in the spotlight. On the other hand, what was going on there? And there's a lot of, there's information out there. I talked about this a few weeks ago. Doesn't paint them, especially Ed, in the best light.
Yeah.
So I won't get into that here, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I was just reading Saber's comment. Selena calling Crow a sexy thing with Matt's pick. That's hilarious.
But
yeah, Crow. Keep going.
Definitely. I mean, it was definitely worth the trip. I mean, fucking, oh my Lord. 14 hours. But it was worth it. And, if you guys can get out there and investigate it, go for it.
Yeah, that's definitely one, because I know when I was up in the Northeast a while back, not the trip that I went to Lizzie Borden, but the one before that when I was up there, I know we had kind of mapped out. Of course, it wasn't open at the time. We'd mapped out so that we could drive by and see the house. So it was really cool to hear that it was actually going to be open again for investigations. And I've seen several people that were up there, or investigators that have gone recently that did it, and they had a good investigation, from what I heard.
Yeah, I wasn't disappointed. I went into the house expecting nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't expect anything. Matt kind of went into it thinking that, I don't know if it's because of the movie or not. I probably shouldn't be speaking for him, but he wanted to kind of set it up to where it was. He was thinking the witch, Bathsheba, and I was no.
Here's the reasoning why.
Go ahead.
Here's the reasoning why, because the experiences that they were talking about when it came. I realized that this probably entity is mimicking this. It wasn't a real story, but this entity was also mimicking a witch, which is the weird part about it, because so it was kind of going off of probably Lorraine Warren's what she was talking about it, because that was her reading, that she was getting that it was the witch and stuff like that, and then this entity was portraying that in a way to these people. But history shows Bathsheba Sherman was never a witch at all, and it's very obvious within history. Right. She had a proper bearing. She died at it, and naturally, she, what they did to witches back then. She was buried with her family. That's something they did not do to witches, and so it didn't make.
She's in a Baptist cemetery. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
people destroyed her headstone. Sorry,
because of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I was my information was going off of because I listened to the interviews of the parents and them talking about their experiences. So I was going strictly off of their experiences. Maybe there really was a witch. And then I realized, no, it's the entity mimicking as a witch, and there's so it's that actually makes it more interesting to me that there was an entity doing that, kind of manipulating them.
Right. And that was something that we did experience.
Yeah,
and
we experienced some of this stuff on our own. This is the weirdest part. I can't wait to talk about that in the documentary.
And I mean, I can go ahead and say this because I did show a little bit of it, but I went into the bathroom. I was coming out of the bathroom. Before I even got to the door, I heard what sounded like a child, like questioning me, like, "Daddy?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I was thinking, well, Billy Cook, he was on the phone with his daughter, helping her out with her homework. I walk out of the bathroom; they're all outside still. I knew that they were outside when I went in, but I thought maybe Bill got in. But I would have heard Bill come into the house because all the damn doors, they're like 100 and some odd years old and they're loud as hell. I walked out there. Nobody was there. So they all came in.
I do have something to tell you, Joe.
What?
Justin's going to be joining for a little bit.
Oh,
Just for a little bit. He says he wants to go over the evidence that was captured at Hales. He wanted to talk it over because there's certain things that I wanted to talk to him when he was on his show. Right. He's like, you know what? Then he said that he's just going to come on here with us and then talk about it. Is what he said. So,
well, I mean, everybody here has been to Hales, so.
Yep.
All right.
So, have they seen the episode out of curiosity? I probably not. But basically, I released an episode of some interesting evidence we're going to be going over, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's interesting, very interesting.
But I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, it was really weird, and I'll go as far as to say that I would hear it. Nobody else would. Like I was by myself. If somebody else was by themselves, it would happen to them. Or we were all together. Only one of us would hear it. Now, I think, if I'm remembering right here, I've been through so much freaking footage and cutting things down, man. There was something that Matt heard, but all of us were in the same damn room. Nobody heard it, but it was captured also on a recorder.
Speaking to the devil. He's in the chat now.
Yeah, I seen that. Or Matt and I heard something. Nobody else heard it, but luckily we were able to capture it on a recorder. Yeah. So I don't know. It was really weird.
Yeah, we had that happen actually some at Hell's Bar with some different evidence that we had. It was on some recorders and not on others. And and I wonder, to your point earlier where you were talking about the entity mimicking what it's told. I sometimes wonder if that doesn't happen a lot more often than we think at some of these locations that have these different sort of controversial stories where different people will come in and say something and either they just sort of mimic it or become that haunting that people put out there. I wonder if we don't get more of that than what we think at some of these different places.
I want to agree with that. I believe that's possible. When I realized, the fourth time I was at Hales, that it was mimicking, I started going, every time I went there, I did this whistle. Mm-hmm. And as I continued, because I was like there like almost every freaking weekend, mm-hmm. I would always do the whistle, same whistle, over and over and over again, every time I went. Now people are hearing my whistle. Mm-hmm. And that was captured on Kindred Spirits. They actually captured my whistle there. I've had other people say, we captured this whistle, and they'd play it. I'm like, hey, that's mine. That's my whistle.
The last time that we were there, they were talking about that. One of the groups was talking about that. And that would have been that event this past summer.
Right.
Talking about the whistle.
I've even captured my own whistle that I didn't even do. And I was actually surprised that it happened. And then Matt captured a whistle as well.
So do you think it's a residual energy thing, or do you think it's the spirit mimicking?
I think it's
more of an intelligence.
I think it's pretty damn intelligent because it also mimics REM pods. I don't go in there with REM pods, and I'm hearing REM pods go off. I'm like, okay, like, wow. The bell ringing that
Yeah.
Alex and I captured.
Mm-hmm.
There's no power in the place at that point in time. It rang 3 times.
What area is that typically in?
Okay, so that bell. All right, so we were in the tunnels, like in the center where it splits.
Chrissy had to go. She met the private chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So somebody popped in. Oh crap.
It's Justin.
All right, so
we touch tips. Just kidding.
Whatever.
I'm hearing like multiple audio sources from all different tabs. I had to get a control of that. I'm like,
so we're in the center of the tunnel where it splits off. We hear the bell ring 3 times. Well, we weren't able at that point in time to locate the bell. So when I went back, Jeff Holder's like, oh, the bell. Here, I'll show you where the bell is. So from the tunnels, you go into the switchback. And then you go into that smaller room just before you get into the main power building. Just before the doorway in there, just look up. And 30 feet up, you'll see the bell.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Justin, are you still hearing us from multiple sources while you're muted right now? Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. We were talking about hails and certain experiences, and we were going over that. Okay, first off, I want to clarify one thing. When you're in the chat, I think you misunderstood me. I was saying that voice that I heard that sounded kind of like mom. That one is the one that I was talking about, not the one in the hallway. Because I agree with you, that was the other girl down.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Okay,
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to
in chat. It's hard to do, and with this lag in separated time between.
Yeah. So what I was wanting to get a handle on is what she sounded like, but then they were like walking away from where we saw them previously.
They stayed at the entrance of the tunnel.
Yeah.
They stayed there waiting for me to just do my little alone session, and then they came down. And so that's what I wanted to clarify. Yes, I agree that the girl was the one that you heard first was just her. Mm-hmm. But the next part definitely was not, and I can tell, and not just from the video itself, but also when I was there, I know for a fact the direction it came from. And it was definitely right in front of me where I was pointing the camera. So that's the part I just wanted to explain. And then I have raw video that you can listen to of the investigation. When I was down the tunnel again, you can hear the people when they talk. They sound like they're from a distance. You can't even understand what words they're saying, actually. That's how echoey it is. It's very hard to understand them. So
Hails is a challenge. And in any way, shape, or form. If it's not people, it's the freaking boats. It's the water.
Reminds me of the death tunnel at Waverly.
Yeah.
Being down there.
It does.
Hi, Miranda. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Oh, Justin's here. Hi, Justin. Just kidding.
What other things have you experienced at Hales, Miranda?
Quite a few things. I had my name said there, which that's probably other than the Sunset Hill House, that's been the only commercial location that I've had a clear version of my name. I also got a really clear child's voice, probably the clearest child I've ever gotten. And I think she said mama.
How ironic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very clear, and it was. And what's interesting about it is we had just come off of a live, and I was sitting there kind of regurgitating some of the questions because you couldn't go live inside of the building at the time because this is before they got Wi-Fi there, and so I was going over some of the questions, and as soon as I said that, caught Mama really clear.
That's interesting because you haven't seen the episode yet, right?
No.
See,
Awesome.
that's why I'm asking Miranda what she's experienced, because
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can actually pull you a clip of that. Yeah, I got that. I got the name Kyle up. They had recently just opened the area. It was in building 2 up at the top. I guess this would have been in 2017, I think, when they opened that, maybe. Got a very clear Kyle. And, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what else. Those were definitely the ones that stood out. We got walking in the puddles down in the tunnel. There was a woman's name. I believe it started with an R. I can't remember which it was, but we got that down in the tunnels as well. And yeah, we need to go back and look over those times. Those were the main ones that stood out. The child's voice, my name, and Kyle were definitely the biggest ones the best ones that I've got there.
So, have you had any rocks thrown at you or towards you?
I have not.
How about any bangs in the tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh,
quite a
that's
few
all the
back
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens a lot. So yeah, a lot of what Miranda's saying, minus the mama thing, minus the Kyle, but I'm still getting EVPs and stuff like that. I'm still getting disembodied voices from there. I mean, I can back everything that you captured, Matt. I can back up. There's that one voice where I told you that is the very same voice that Alex, Eric, Sean, JP, and I captured in the bathroom on the second floor. That is the very same voice. You can compare it. It is the same voice.
Which one? The one that said help? Or
it was screaming. I can't remember specifically which one it was, but that is the same voice. That is the same female's voice.
The one that said the mom.
No, the scream. Well, I believe it was one of the screams. But ours was screaming, "Get out!"
Which one eliminates the TV the best?
Okay, Matt. Do the settings have pictures next to the settings?
There's gain. I already have the gain all the way to the bottom, and then there's pattern. I didn't.
Okay, you want the pattern that's shaped like a heart, not the heart with a circle in the crevice of the heart, because that's super cardioid. That'll pick up what's behind. Cardioid will just pick up what's in front. That's the one you want to use.
Done. That's the one.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to eliminate the TV as much as possible, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, you're sitting right in the corner, so it's going to bounce off the corner right into it.
I know. I need some. I wish I could put up some styrofoam stuff. Okay, so yeah. Basically, what it's interesting is that Miranda is claiming things that I didn't even know about yet, and correlates with my episode. So
very cool.
So, hey Joe, you want to share? I want to share a screen for him.
And I'm looking through mine to see if I can find. I think I've pulled them off the computer, but I was looking to see if
When you get there, let me know, Matt, and I'll pull it up.
Okay.
I've got mine in case I'm missing something, because within all that time, we got quite a few really cool things, but I'll see what I can find.
You ready, Matt?
Yeah, you can just pull me up. I'm just going to go to it.
Want to be careful of those stupid ads, too.
I know.
Their ads are terrible.
I'm sorry. I need to get paid somehow.
No, everybody's. My channel, your channel, it doesn't matter who it is, man. These
It's
ads
called
are
ad
bad.
block.
Have
you ever heard of ad blocker or?
Yeah, I have. I've used it.
Oh, rumors. Okay, I'm going to skip through.
Or outside. At one point, I decided to head down the tunnel for the first time by myself, while Gateway Paranormal stayed at the entrance of the tunnel. When I made it to about the middle of the tunnel, something interesting happens.
This is the main part of the tunnels. Matt wants to run that one.
If you're down here, can you please make your presence known in a very big way? Thank you. Good job. Can you knock again, please? Is there someone playing around with us? Yeah, there's someone playing around with us, that's all.
At this very moment, I am thinking we are being messed with by one of the attendees at the event because of how clear and direct it was. It seemed like a real person to me. So the first thing I do is go to the hole in the door and look outside to see if I hear or see anyone, but I didn't.
I want you to get to that one, and I'll bring up what we captured. We can compare them.
Oh, I forgot I was muted. I was gonna say, so you hear that? What that says or sounds like, Miranda?
Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot. I found the other stuff. We did get screams, got EVP of that, and then Rhonda was the name that we got down in the hole. I also got something. It was really weird. It was talking, and this was up in the control room. It was talking about something called the Sith. I'm not. We got two things of that. We got the Sith is above you, and watch out for the Sith. It was really strange. These were just straight EVPs, but that mama voice sounds very, very similar. And I'm wondering.
I'll do the replay real quick. Do it on this one because I think it's uninterrupted. This one's uninterrupted with my voiceover and everything.
Best interactions I have ever had.
If you're down here, can you please make your presence known in a very big way? Thank you. Good job. Can you knock again, please?
Yeah.
Is there someone playing around with us?
Let's see.
Later during
I'm wondering.
Can I make a statement on how it sounds? I have children. I have a daughter. Okay. We've all been kids. We've all heard other people's kids. Now, when you listen to the voice, it almost sounds like a child is separated from their mother, but think her mother's near, and it's like calling out to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that you, mommy? Yeah, like,
right.
Mommy? You like, Mom?
Well,
that's how mine was. It was like a questioning, like, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like question. Maybe it's searching.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was interesting.
Right, and that was the same thing that happened to me over at the Conjuring house. It sounded like I was being questioned. Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
So if you speculate, which is something I like to do, as you all know, you have to wonder, is this like a spirit, like hearing people walk around thinking that it could be their mom? Because Matt doesn't sound like that girl's mom last time I checked. So Are we listening to something residual, or is it intelligently interacting with Matt or other people there, or is it something else? What is your thoughts on that?
All right. So maybe possibility here. Maybe it was afraid of Matt and called out,
I wouldn't
mommy.
Or anything.
Well, no, but I mean, again, doesn't it's a child, doesn't know who you are. You're a stranger, and
He's
you're.
not a stranger. He's Matt Tactical. Okay.
I know.
Oh my god.
But I mean, maybe he was afraid of Matt. I mean, I'm not saying there's a reason to be afraid of Matt. We all know Matt's a pushover, but sorry, Matt. Does that...
Say that.
I'm kidding. But yeah, maybe that was it. I don't think it's residual though.
Yeah, it's definitely not residual. If it's this one's definitely sounded like a legitimate object being hit. To me, like you hear the echo a little bit through the hallway. I mean, through the tunnel a little bit. I think when you hear that knock, it's very short, but it sounded like a real hit. What do you think, Justin?
The hit sounded wooden, so there was wood there.
There was, and that was actually right. Crap, actually.
That's steel I-beams there.
Yeah, those are steel. I'm not talking about those.
But next to the door,
right
maybe?
there,
Yeah.
Or the door itself. Was the door itself wooden?
No, it's steel.
No, that's all steel. Huh.
Oh, are you in the same spot you were?
No, that's
no.
Oh, you're using my camera, aren't you? Or is that Levy's?
That's Levy's camera.
Okay.
So I have the raw footage of this, by the way, so I can show you this also, Justin.
Also, rumor is I have to watch what I say here. Rumor is there were 2 young girls that had something horrible happen to them, and they didn't live. And
Why'd you say
Matt, and well, I can't say the other thing, but
why?
because, anyways, I can say it like this: they were sexually assaulted. But Matt isn't exactly in the area where that took place. It's actually like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 feet the other direction at the end of the tunnel. But there's no records of that. It's just
20,
a rumor.
20 or 30 feet's pretty close, though.
Man, I mean, yeah. I haven't been down in that direction in a long time. How far away do you think from right
I'm
where Matt
halfway
is?
down the tunnel. There's another part that you go a little bit farther. There's another room area.
Yeah,
The toys.
and
At.
yeah. So you're what? I don't know, maybe 50 feet away. How far would you say, Miranda?
Yeah, I'd say probably, yeah, maybe about 50 feet, I would say.
And
Hard to
that's
kind of judge.
right, and that's where the assault happened with the 2 young ladies.
Yeah. So here, listen to this part. I'll mute myself for a sec. But Justin thinks this is the chair or something, but this does not sound like a chair to me.
Well, I did the raw review that you sent me, and that you should have just used that.
Oh, the one that on my camera?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because that closely represents what you heard. Because from his mic, he's moving all around, dude, and that's like overpowering everything.
Damn. Well, the reason why I used his, because you notice that his mic is cleaner. Like, it's not, you don't hear all that, like, graininess in the background. It's kind of hard to explain it in words, but someone yelling.
It's my daughter, I think. She's having a meltdown.
Oh. Well, when it comes to like the part where oh yeah, so my camera's a lot louder here. Let's show the raw video. I'll show the raw video. show the raw video to everyone now.
So, where can I be of use? Well, you can help me finish that.
Whoa.
It's not enhanced like I do with my episodes, but here it's.
Whoa.
Oh, you also see him still.
Yeah, hold on, because Justin was busy doing parenting duties, I believe.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
wasn't
shit.
really paying attention.
Well, I didn't expect like.
Was I
Justin-
distracting you?
No, because I'm talking to you, Justin. Guess what, dude? So this is. I didn't show this in the episode because it didn't even come to me, like as it being like movement. To
No,
me.
what you heard, it doesn't sound like him. It sounds like it's on down.
I told you, yeah, it's down that tunnel, dude.
That's why I said you should have used that audio.
Yeah, probably should have. Here, look, and also if you look closely at my video, it shows Levy in the shot when it happens.
Yeah, I watched it I watched it tonight on the show.
Awesome. So I missed that part.
Whoa. Did you hear it scream?
The only thing that I could think that could possibly be that is not paranormal would be the freaking owl that is inside the dam. It does screech, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you that's exactly what it is.
We don't know what it
No.
is. It could have been a scream. It could have been an animal. It's just too far away in the echoey hallway.
Yeah, because this one's the enhanced one, and I thought Levy's caught it. I don't know. We'll see. Listen.
See, the sudden jump in the volume is what don't sound right to me.
Yeah. So if I went for the other one, I could enhance the other one and
No,
show
there's-
the same thing.
Well, there's no need to do that right now.
Okay. Well, let me say this real quick, Matt. Put recorders outside while you're investigating. Stick recorders in multiple places, like down at the end of the hall. Like, this is for future reference, so you can cross-check. You can tell which way it came and all that.
Yep.
Right. That's actually, well, they're going to be repairing the windows, but a lot of the windows that are broken out, you can actually set a recorder up on the ledge of the windows up high and get everything. But they're going to be replacing those windows. Get to, what was it?
The whistles.
Oh, no, hold on. Let me play mine real quick.
Okay.
That way we can compare here real quick with whatever. Let me go ahead. And
What are we comparing again? I'm just joking.
That's later, Justin.
Oh, I got Miranda to crack a smile. My work is done.
Well, I had found mine, so that's what I was looking at.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I had that intense RBF going on.
Now, what happened was I sent her a picture and she's trying not to laugh at it.
She's laughing at your dick pic? Is that what she's laughing at?
Don't they all? Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Why don't you full screen it? Oh, never mind. It's just audio. I can't hear it. You need to share your audio.
Oh, why is it doing that? All right, what's going on here? How do I share the audio? It should be
Exit. Stop sharing again.
right.
Stop the then do it again. Then there's a check mark button right in the corner that you have to select as share audio with your screen. With your screen, where it says show screen, and then it shows on the bottom of the left side, it shows share audio with it. So
I'm not seeing it. Look for the share. Okay. Yeah, there's no checkbox. I don't know why.
I'll show you, Joe.
Who is streaming this? Is it Matt or
No,
Joe?
it's
Joe.
me. Let me see
Okay.
here.
I'll show him how.
Yeah.
You're going to share your screen to show him how to share his screen.
Yeah, I can't though, because I had to go before I share my screen to do that. So I have another idea to show this. I can use my cell phone. I'm joining in with my cell phone.
All right, that's just weird that it's not letting me do that.
John Spalding says that you're old and you need glasses.
Maybe. Huh.
The chat saying, is Eric in the chat? Or is it Alex?
No, because Eric and Alex are in the video.
Oh, okay. I noticed that. Now I get it.
Okay, here. I entered in.
Matt, I got it. Whoa. All right, I see what happened. It wasn't popping up over here.
Oh, okay. I can leave that on my phone.
Yeah. Go ahead. All right. All right. So this needs to go away.
And so right here, is this? Never mind. Just go with it. The get out.
There we go. Go away, you stupid poppy up thing.
Whoa, that's coming up.
One issue.
Hold on.
Get out. I think it says get out.
That is creepy. Whoa, that's cool. That's so cool. That's awesome because I'm very skeptical of Eric's stuff because of how low quality his audio is, like extremely low quality. But that one sounds straight up like a yell, like a
That's
woman.
not Eric. That's not Eric's recorder. That's the DR60.
Oh no, never mind. Now my skepticism is back.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. That was what? Is it his DR60 or is it that?
No,
that's
not a DR60. It didn't look like it.
It didn't look like one.
Yeah, it didn't look like one.
It looked like that Sony that Eric uses.
Oh, that's
quite
right.
often.
All right, no, that's right. Because then he went back in there. Okay, I see. Yeah,
Because
he went back in there and used that recorder.
Because he puts it on literally the lowest setting he can do on his voice recorder. I think it's like SP or something, and then records.
No,
and
it's
then,
OP. SP is normal. LP is long extended. That's what she said.
So he puts it on the lowest quality as well.
Miranda didn't say that for the record. It was another she.
I've got mine. Do you think it would allow me if I hit the share screen to pull that up?
Go for it.
Okay, so what did you have to do on?
So you have to when you open it, you have to click it on the corner. It says when it shows the screen part, there's a little check box in the corner, left side on the bottom of where the screen stuff is. When you first open it, before you open it, I mean, right before you open it, it shows select screen and then a check box in the corner.
Okay, let me retry that. Okay, because I get screen sharing tips when I do that. Okay, share audio. Some screens let share audio.
Yeah, that's it.
This window, okay.
Miranda figured it out. Joe.
How does it make you feel, Joe?
Well, she also rides a motorcycle. Which one of us ride a motorcycle?
I have.
All right. So let me see if I can.
That's a scooter, Matt. Big difference.
Okay. All right. So maybe it'll play it. Bottom of the stairs near the pool.
Ooh.
I can't hear you, Justin. You're muted.
Mute yourself so we can hear it. clearly, more clearly.
Sorry.
Did you hear it? Okay, let me go back.
Can you? Yeah, go play it again.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
All right, let me go back. I've got to find it here. Just a minute. Did I minimize my share screen?
Yeah, it went away.
Okay. All right. Let me. All right. Just a second.
Sorry, I just wanted to hear it clear so I can compare it to what Mac had.
It doesn't sound exactly the same.
Do I need to turn it up more? I wonder. Is that volume based on my volume?
Yeah, and also, it's because of me. I forgot about my contaminated audio right now. 1 second.
All right. Let me reshare that. It takes a second. Okay. Could you hear it?
You no longer have your audio.
No?
No. Did you shared it without the audio, it looks like? You shared your screen?
No, I clicked the button.
So did anybody say something about going up the stairs or something like that?
I did at the bottom of the stairs. I was reading the comments.
The audio must have lagged.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go back.
I was
here.
just making sure.
Because
Yeah.
I heard that too, but I think it cut out like it lagged.
Okay. Yeah, there may be a lag on that. Give me one more second. We'll try it one more time. And
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. I'm joking.
Justin's a bit of an asshole, but he's one of those likable assholes.
I am kind of a dick, but I make sure that I give disclaimers and I don't advertise being nice either. So
no, that's not true. When Justin's show starts out and he gets into it, he's like, "I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter."
Oh no! Psych!
okay. Let's see here. Try it one more time. This.
I was saying, like, it would be interesting if Justin would be unfiltered in all his shows. Like, when I talk to him, it would be funny.
Okay.
Not on my channel. I don't want to be demonetized. All right.
All right.
Mute yourself, Matt.
Let me go back. It's not, for some reason, the audio is not. One more time here. Okay, I think I got it this time.
A little girl at the bottom of the stairs near the pool.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like mine, though. It doesn't sound like mine. It does sound like a kid, though.
They sound similar, but I think a lot of that has to do.
It sounds like it's a different intent behind it, like a different inflection. Is that the right word?
Did you say hello? I heard hello.
I heard mama.
I heard mama.
Oh, probably mama. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I heard mama.
Okay, so.
Yeah, and I got that one actually. It was over there. It was actually in the powerhouse where I got mama.
It's kind of weird, though, because if you think about it, it was mainly males that were there because they were the ones doing the construction and all that. Were dying.
But you're also forgetting the fact that there is a child cemetery on the property as well.
So, Miranda, what I didn't hear the context that you captured that. You were just you were down at the bottom of the stairs when you recorded that?
Yeah, so we had come off of a live, and some different folks I was responding to some of the comments and stuff coming off the live. And so I was talking about being at the bottom of the stairs. We were just at the bottom of the stairs doing that in the powerhouse. And right then was when it came off and said mama.
Okay, so you weren't asking for that response. You weren't
Mm-mm.
trying to communicate. So it just came out of the air.
Yeah.
So
Did
it
you
is
hear it
possible. It is possible when Matt captured it, it could have been a coincidence that he was in the right place at the right time.
But I got interactions when I asked for it, though. I said if there's anyone here.
That's how the human perception works, Matt. If you look at it objectively, you can't. I don't want you to jump to that conclusion just because it fit how you were trying to perceive it.
But it was knockings, then the voice too.
You don't know if it was the entity that said mommy was doing the knock. You just don't know.
True.
That's just how you're perceiving it.
True.
So I just want to leave that out there. Like, it could have been talking right to you, or it could have heard you and thought it was mommy, or trying to call for mom, like Joe said. So I just find that interesting that they were both equally clear. I think, like, it was so present and so clear that it would be interesting to find out not only who it is, but what is triggering it.
Also, Miranda, did you hear it as a disembodied voice, or was it an EVP for you?
That one was as a disembodied voice.
Okay, just make sure, because it sounds like one.
Yeah, they both sound exactly like it came out of the air, like acoustic. Yeah. It was acoustic anomaly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading back the comments on the video where it was put together. And so this EVP was captured in the powerhouse while one of our investigators was reading the comments from an earlier Facebook Live. So, because this was caught in 2017. Now, what's interesting is, so I was reading the comments, and I say there's a little girl at the bottom, or I don't remember the context of the comment from the live, but what I say in this is there was a little girl at the base of the stairs, and I was standing there, and that's when I said that, because I was talking about a little girl, so that's what's kind of weird.
I'm sorry, Miranda.
No, someone had mentioned that in the Facebook Live. I was reading it. I was at the base of the stairs when I was reading that.
Was it somebody with abilities, like tell them what they picked up, or?
I don't remember. I just know that was back before they had Wi-Fi inside the dam, and so we had done the Facebook Live outside.
Can you say Wi-Fi again for me?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, thank you.
Got that southern accent.
Those long eyes. Yeah, so we were reading that and went in, and I was in the powerhouse. I wasn't at the base of the steps. I was just in the little walkway when I was reading that. So, I was probably going over to conduct an experiment, honestly, since they had said that during the Facebook Live.
One of the things, too, is that kids used to travel in and out of Hales to get to school. They would literally go through the tunnels. We're not talking the tunnels that you've seen Matt in. No, they were going through the tunnels under the river where the levee was.
At a working dam?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, you know what? I'm surprised you missed that, because in all the history stuff that I have, it talks about how wide it was. It wasn't very wide at all. But the kids going back and forth to school, because there was no bridge at the time that crossed the river. So the kids were going into the dam, going into the tunnels, the levee tunnel, and crossing the river that way.
Remind me about the drowning. Wasn't there a drowning in there?
There's multiple drownings. There's a few workers I have drowned.
Right.
And that I have the documents for those ones.
Only workers?
Yeah, the ones maybe there's another, but they're mainly workers, yeah. That have fallen and drowned.
I feel like there's more.
Yeah, there's more. I thought that I found another one that wasn't related to the workers. I don't think.
There was lynchings that happened there. The camp, the Gunter camp, that was not exactly the place you want to be if you were
Also,
working
there's
there.
murder that happened there.
Yeah.
Two murders that have happened there, and I only showed one of them in my video because cutting time, trying to get it like quick for people. And one of the murders was someone getting. Actually, both of them were shot. One of them, I think, was a racism. It was just involved with racism.
Okay, so
American.
All right, so there were 3 African American men who were killed out in the parking lot. The Gunther camp, while they were constructing hills, one dude was murdered, weapon, gun. The other, they got into a fight, and this dude used a bench and hit the dude in the neck. And the guy ultimately died. Upstairs, or the second floor in the main building, 2 guys got into a fight. One dude called another dude's wife something bad. They got into a fight. The dude ended up killing him. Supposedly, there have been sexual assaults that led to death inside the dam. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Now, we were talking about the whistle earlier. There was a child who used to go through the dam to go to school. And what he would do was he learned how to mimic the principal's whistle. When it was time to leave school, this principal did a certain whistle. That meant it was time to go. Well, the kid learned that, mimicked that, and he was getting the class out like 10 or 15 minutes early from school. It didn't take too long for them to catch on. Well, he grew up and actually worked at the dam. And that's interesting because this guy was able to mimic a whistle, and then we're hearing something mimic my whistle. We're also hearing probably the same thing mimic other things like REM pods or machinery. So it's weird. It's interesting. I don't know if that guy died inside the dam. I don't know where he passed away at. So it's weird.
Interesting. Lots of deaths. There's a lot of deaths involving hails, Justin. You should investigate it. Let's go down there and investigate again.
It's been on the list, but if we do it, we're probably going to be down there with Gateway. They'll probably be pissed off if we don't. Be honest. Yeah, we'll be down there eventually. It's just so many places you got to decide where you're going. And when COVID hit, it was on the list this year to go to, but when COVID hit, it was kind of like, and I think that when we were talking about it, the ownership and the future of investigations there was in question too.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I know because I threw my name in the hat just to help do the haunted stuff, and apparently somebody, I won't say who, started talking like bad about me and just saying a bunch of crap.
Just kidding.
No. But one of the managers down there were like, hey, so-and-so's coming down here trying to get rid of everybody so he can, basically run the haunted tours. And he's saying some stuff about you. And I'm like, oh well. I just let it be. But, the new owners coming. They're doing a great job with the place. They have cleaned it up a lot. They put a new roof on part of the building. New windows are going to be installed, thank God, because when it snows outside, it snows inside the dam. So, they're doing an awesome job over there. I want to do a documentary on that place, a good documentary. It'd probably be a very dark documentary, but it would be really cool to do. We also got. You also got, man. The next one I'm editing. It'll get done sooner. The underwater graveyard. got that as well, just upstream. So, I mean, there's a lot of places. I mean, I'm not going to say what, but for a documentary, I know the spots. So,
You definitely need somebody that's really good with running audio since you have so much sound stuff going on. You know, you need to go in there and do like an acoustic analysis of like how sound travels. Maybe there's something you can do to kind of like dampen the echo in those halls, which would probably be a huge task or a huge undertaking. But you definitely need to position, some really good, high quality audio
I have
recorders and
more coming.
microphones. Yeah, those are nice, so you can record your voice well. But I'm thinking, having cross-checking points. Have one outside on different sides of the building, so you know what came from outside on what side. Have cameras and mics by doorways that people use to go in and out. So if you hear a door open, you can kind of pinpoint where it is. Those places are really hard to investigate.
So
issue
I
is
have
I
an
need more
8-channel. I have an 8-channel DVR system. I got a lot of audio stuff now. It's still going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be a huge undertaking.
That's not me, John. That's not me, John. That's Justin. The breathing sound.
Yeah, that's Justin.
It's probably me.
Well, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and hop off
Yeah.
here, but
Me too.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on and let me be part of your discussion. So, but anyways, you all have a good night.
Have a good night, Miranda. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, sound is challenging there.